All right, everybody, welcome to class. My name is Teacher Chad. This hour we are going to be practicing our reading and pronunciation as we read through a couple short stories. The first story that we're going to read through is entitled 13 Hours of Lies. Okay, I'll go ahead and put the link in the chat box for you. And if you decide to hang out in Google Chat, that's where it's at as well. All right, let's see who we have in class. Hey, Jose, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Dad.
Awesome. Good to have you here.
Thank you.
Awesome. How about Igor? How you doing, Igor?
Hi, I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm doing great. Good to have you back.
Thank you. Good to see you too.
Okay, how about Andrew? How you doing, Andrew?
Hello, Chad. I'm fine. Thank you for asking. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you as well.
All right, and Goliath? How you doing, Goliath?
I'm doing fine, and you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. Nice to see you.
Did you sleep well yesterday?
I slept okay. The climate changed, and so my allergies are going crazy right now.
Are you allergic?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm allergic to everything. Allergic to everything, and it usually manifests itself in extremely red eyes. Yeah, so I carry. What's that?
You sneeze?
Yeah, I sneeze. I get sinus pressure and things like that. Yeah, it's bad. It's really bad. All right, you guys. Let's go ahead and get started, and we'll see if we've got some other people coming in. Let's see. Uh-oh. Screen share isn't working. Give me 1 second.
Looks like a Formula One race car.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you in a
like the McLaren
race car circuit or something like that?
Me? It
Not
shouldn't
you,
be.
the one who is making.
Oh, the
noise.
one that has the sound going.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right, give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna go out and come right back in. It'll take me about a minute. Okay.
Okay, I'll teach them while you're absent. Okay.
All right.
Bear this noise, please. Mute yourself, please. Please, I beg you.
Oh, here we go. Okay. All right, very good. Let's start off with Andrew. All right, and Andrew, let me have you read the first 3 paragraphs here. It never feels. Go ahead. Andrew, make sure that you are unmuted. Oh, he's going to be right back. Goliath, let's start with you. Right there at the beginning, first 3 paragraphs, please.
Okay. Just I have one request. I ask Jose to mute herself, please, because the noise. I'm really. If you can, thank you. Thank you. It never feels right once you traveling alone, but all by yourself. Although it does show you some signs of freedom and confidence building. But then again, what can you possibly do over a 13-hour or long road trip that very well promises a great deal of fatigue and the end of it? This was all going through my mind once I stared at the wrong sides, waiting in the lounge of the bus terminal, My wits were in a state of desperation, and my eyes counting to clock ticks as tried to roll them back to have a glance at my backpack. But they got caught midway, completely off guard, when I noticed a girl standing close to the waiting for to me waiting close to me waiting for me to have eye contact. For an instant I freaked out a bit and acknowingly winked my way a couple of times, followed by my usual gesture of lifting up an eyebrow every time I find myself in an unwanted situation. Her finger pointing towards my back brought me back on Earth, and showed me that there certainly wasn't any Hollywood shooting going on, so keep your calm. All what she wanted from me was to slide my bag away someplace other than the whole seat it was occupying, so that she could find a place to sit and wait for her ride to arrive at the station.
Okay, just still there. Nice job. Nice job. Let's go to some words here. First up is followed. Okay, here you had said followed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, ed ending, followed.
Followed.
All right, let's go to this tricky word here. Okay, so we have the root word no. Okay, two suffixes at the end, ingly and un.
Can I
Prefix
try?
at the beginning. Yep, go for it.
Unknowingly.
There you go. Yeah, unknowingly.
Unknowingly. We
so
pronounce the G.
The G here with the ing. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought
Okay.
it was like acknowledgement, so I.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Unknowingly.
Okay. Yeah, unknowingly. All right.
Like willingly.
Let's go to contact.
Contact.
So stress at the very beginning, and it's an ah sound at the beginning.
Contact.
Just like that. And cot instead of coat, cot.
Yeah. Contact and cot. Yeah.
And glance instead of glance, glance.
Yeah.
Okay. And this word here is lounge. Lounge.
Is it the Q?
It is. That would be the line. The lounge would be a place where you can wait, but you're not actually in line. Okay, so it would just be a big waiting area like at the airport, where you're waiting to board the plane. Okay, that would be sort of a lounge area where you're just kind of sitting and waiting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then confidence here at the beginning. Confidence. Stress at the beginning of the word.
Confidence.
Yep, just like that. Okay, very good. Thank you, Goliath.
Thanks.
All right, let's go to Igor.
Yeah.
All right, Igor, please continue. Let me have you read the next 4 paragraphs, please.
It did take a while, but finally the clock struck 10 of night and I rose up, embarking myself onto one of the longest trips I'd ever got myself into. Pulling over my head to check for the number 21, I found my seat with no clear intentions of what to do next. I was one of the first ones who entered the bus, so I had plenty of time to arrange my personal belongings close to me. With that done, I peeked out of the bus window and found only the sudden dark with misty winds and bitter cold awaiting me. So wrapping up a muffler around my neck, I was all set to start the endless journey once and for all. Having found myself so much full of spirits, Only one thing turned out somewhat not according to the plan set out by me. Seat number 22 belonged to Sophia. Sophia. Yeah, right. This was the name of the girl who had previously seen sitting beside me in the lounge just a few minutes ago. Although it was completely a coincidence that a girl got a seat next to me, my mind still raced against the possibilities of how, out of the entire 40 people traveling alongside me, it came down to this same girl, Sophia, who found a seat beside me. It was unquestionably beyond me this time.
Okay, very good job. Let's look at a handful of words here, okay? First up is unquestionably.
Unquestionably.
One more time. Unquestionably.
Unquestionably.
Very good. Let's go to the word girl. Instead of gal, it is girl.
Girl.
Very good. Let's go to coincidence.
Coincidence.
There you go. One more time. Coincidence. Excellent. Okay. These two paragraphs were just fine. No issues there. Let's go to trips. So give me a CHR sound there at the beginning. Trips. That's it. Yeah, good. Much better. Yeah, if you try to pronounce that T and the R together, it's harder to make that R sound right. Okay, but if you pronounce a CH, okay, trips, and then the R, it sounds awesome. Okay? Very good job. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, let's scroll down, and my next reader is Jose.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, Jose, let me have you continue and read the next two. Whoops. Right here. So the next two paragraphs. Yeah, let me have you read the next two. Actually, the next three. Let's go ahead and do that. So the next three paragraphs down to feel a bit drowsy.
Right. Anyway, I didn't freak out too much this time. Even though this was the time I should have been the one freaking out while going through such a phase. Girls were never my interest from the beginning. No matter there's a good one or bad one, a gentle one or a weak one, or a decent one or a naughty one. I would always opt not to think about any of them for long and would still come out of all these situations without much confusion and would still be the mama's boy. I am rather than what we simply refer to as Johnny Bravo. With that being said, I lashed over to my left and glancing out of the misty window pane. The lights shredded past us as the bus rolled across, making the start of a 13-hour-long journey. After almost an hour had passed by and everyone in the bus, in my opinion, had long been settled into their seats comfortably, I now thought to take my eyes off the highway, which was already blinding me with an unfamiliar contrast of bright lights covered with dark background, and at once moved my eyes to the person sitting alongside me. What I saw completely fascinated me for a while. The girl sitting beside me was playing Angry Birds on her iPhone while every other person seemed to have slept a long time ago. I kept watching her play with her delicate fingers sliding over the brightly lit touchscreen. But it was not long once I too like every other person, started to feel a bit drowsy.
Okay, very good. Let's practice
Yep.
some words. First up is the word drowsy. Okay, instead of drowsy, okay, I want you to think of these two letters, the D and the R, as one sound, and that sound is dr. Okay, so let's try that. We're going to say drowsy, drowsy. Try that.
Drowsy.
There you go. Good, good. One more time.
Drowsy.
Drowsy. Excellent. Okay, much better. All right, let's go to the word it.
Drowsy.
Here you had said eat. Okay, so let's start this, and we'll say but it instead of eat it. But it was not long. Try that, please.
But it was not long.
Very good.
But
Much better
it
with
was
it.
not long.
Excellent. Okay, let's go to our next
it.
word. All right, now you were close with this word. It's a tricky one. You had left off a blee, okay, instead of fort, or the or sound. Okay, so we say comfortably, comfortably. Try that.
Comfortably. Comfortably.
All right, so
No,
it's
no, no. I don't have to say the second O.
all right, so the OR goes away. Let me write it for you, okay?
Yeah.
All right, so look at that in the chat box. Comfortably, comfortably.
Comfortably.
Good. One more time. Comfortably.
Comfortably.
Excellent. Just like that. Okay? Very good. Let's go to the word opinion and focus on the short I. Just like it, okay, this I right here is an I sound. Opinion. Pin. Opinion.
Opinion. Opinion.
Very good. All right, let's go to
Opinion.
said. This word here is said, okay? You had said said, okay? This is a short E sound. Said.
Said. Said.
Good. Good. Just like that. Okay. Let's go to the word situations. Now, this T here at the very beginning, okay, that is going to create a CH sound as well. So instead of saying situations, it is sitch.
Yeah.
Situations. Situations. Try that.
Situations. Situations.
Yeah. Good. Good. Just like that. Good. Okay. And one last word. Interest. Here at the very beginning, using the short I instead of interest, it is in. Interest. Try that.
Interest. Interest.
Very good. Nice job. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let's go to and the gentleman on the very end with the green screen. That's either that you have an Oriental name, and those characters I do not know how to read. It's either it could be Chinese. I'm not exactly sure, but I do not know what your name is. If you can tell me what your name is, that would be super. Until then, I can't call you by name, and I'll go to Andrew. All right, Andrew, let me have you continue here. Andrew?
Yeah, I'm here.
Here we go. All right, Andrew, let me have you read from I stretched, okay, down to she had fallen asleep. So the next 3 paragraphs, please.
Okay. I stretched up my legs a bit and, yawning hard, tried to turn towards the window when a sudden voice stopped me from doing so. I turned around and, to my surprise, it was Sophia, and she was pointing her hand towards her phone, asking me to clear for her what was indeed a fairly difficult stage of Angry Birds. To this day I still angry that I am not an adept on that game, but I remember that in those days at home, my dad's iPad used to stay in my hands all day long, and The only thing I lived for in those days was pretty much Angry Birds. Accepting this as a challenge, I made her cross the difficult bit with quite an easy, and then tried to return the cell phone back to her, but she insisted me to carry on and told me that she would be measuring measuring up my skills while sitting right there alongside me. I kept on leaping one stage after another, and quite nervously, I must say, when suddenly something completely out of my wildest imaginations brought me in the state of sheer panic. It had been almost half an hour since I was playing Angry Birds on Sophia's iPhone, when unexpectedly her head dropped over my shoulder and I turned around, not realizing that she had fallen asleep.
Okay, excellent job. Let's take a look at a handful of words here.
Mhm.
First up is her. Okay, so
Her.
we're going to try that in between, excuse me, in between unexpectedly and head. Okay, so unexpectedly, her head dropped. Try that, please.
Unexpectedly, her head dropped.
Okay, instead of saying here, okay, go
Her.
straight to that sound. Her.
Her.
There you go. Okay. All right, one more time. Unexpectedly, her. Unexpectedly, her head dropped.
Unexpectedly, her head dropped.
Okay, much better. Much better. Yeah,
Mhm.
just be careful on that because you're starting off with a E sound saying here.
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right, let's go to nervous. Where did nervously go? Uh-oh, where did nervously go? Oh, here, right here. Okay, nervously. Nervously.
Nervously.
Okay, good. And quite nervously, I might say. Try that, please.
And quite nervously, I must say.
All right, very good, very good. Let's go to insist or insisted, focusing on the short I sounds instead of insisted,
Mhm.
insisted, insisted. Try that.
Insisted me.
Okay, much better. Let's try the short I on the word bit as well. Okay, the difficult bit.
The difficult bit.
There you go. And one last word. The word is accepting. Okay, stress on ep. Okay, accepting. Try that.
Accepting. Accepting.
There you go. Good. Nice job. All right.
Thank you.
Everything else was really good. Very good.
Thank you.
All right. Let's go to Goliath. All right, Goliath. Please continue reading, and I'll have you read the next two paragraphs. And about let's see here. Can I do half? Nope. It's just two big sentences. All right. Go ahead and read the next three paragraphs, please.
Okay. Just I moved out of the way, Sophia's eyes awakened from the shallow sleep she was in, and she instantly started apologizing for the scene that had taken place. I, on the other hand, tried to calm her down myself. I too apologizing hard and claiming into it to be entirely my mistakes that I rolled out of the way. It was just then that I saw tears building up inside Sophia's eyes, and fortunately my quick reflexes allowed me to come up with a few quick moves, getting hold of some tissues, but in the end still found Sophia's not so long-lasting weep inevitable. Even after this much of a big deal, not many eyelids rose up to the occasion, and even those who did manage to wake up for a few seconds never seems to know what had happened previously. Gladly, it took just a few more minutes and everything was under control, with Sophia getting her phone back. Meanwhile, I on the other hand getting hold of my breaths again, carrying on with the travel. An exchange of few smiles passed between the two of us during the next hour or so, but since I wasn't a girlfriend prospective sort of person from the beginning, these things merely meant a word to me, as I had already put on my headphones at the end of that hour, which was full of smirks from both sides.
Okay.
Smirks. Why smirks? Never heard of this smirks.
Smirks would be like half smiles.
Ah, smirks, not smirks. Okay.
Yeah, smirks. Okay.
Smirks.
Yeah, and they would be half smiles. So not a full smile, but half smile. And usually they're kind of awkward. Okay. All right, let's go to beginning. So our stress is here on this I, beginning.
Beginning. I beginning.
Okay,
Beginning.
switch that.
Beginning.
There you go. That's it.
Beginning.
Beginning.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, beginning.
Awesome.
I
All right,
remember.
very good. Okay, let's go to seconds. Here you had said seconds. Okay, this would be seconds.
Seconds.
Okay, very close with inevitable.
Inevitable.
All right. One more time. Inevitable.
Inevitable.
Good, good. Let's go to reflexes. So,
Reflexes.
stress there at the beginning. Reflexes.
Reflexes.
And apologizing.
Apologizing.
There you go. One more time. Apologizing.
Apologizing.
Great. All right. Thank you, Goliath.
Yeah.
Let's go to Igor.
Yeah.
All right, Igor, let me have you continue, please, and read from just a few melodies. I'll have you read down to a big one quite as well, or sorry, big one as well. So the next 4 paragraphs, please.
Just a few melodies later, hunger started to invade my stomach. It had been close to 4 hours into the journey, and with the clock almost striking 2 o'clock at that time, I was honestly very much disappointed with myself, regretting that I didn't have satisfactory dinner in the night, even when I had a vague idea that such a time could come. Anyhow, to my fortunate luck, this starvation started making me more and more lazy, as I found myself sinking into the seat and pretty close to a night's sleep as well. I woke up 2 hours later, and by looking at from the window, I could easily make out that the bus was not moving. I looked here and there just to clear up my doubts, and in doing so, I saw a small little mart close to the highway's vicinity. Well, the night was dark and the cold intense, but the glow of the mart was nothing short of heaven for me at the time, so I simply hopped off the bus and raced towards it, hoping that I would be able to get back on board before it was too late. The 10-minute delay in starting up the engine due to the cold weather was all I needed to fill my tummy, and so we were back on track with the beast of hunger no longer hovering over me. The fear of starvation was well and truly subsided. But now I faced another problem, with which, too, in all its aspects, was quite a big one as well.
Okay, nice job. Let's check out some words here. First up is aspects. Instead of aspects, it is aspects.
Aspects.
Okay, very good. Let's go to engine. So stress at the very beginning. Engine.
Engine.
Good, good.
Notice engine. Engine. No.
Nope, it
Yes.
is engine.
Okay. Engine.
This word here is minute. Instead of minute, okay, use short I. Minute.
Okay. Minute.
Okay, very good. We've got two words here. This one is correct, saying hopping. Okay, hoping. Sorry, this would be hoping, and this is hopped. Okay, so the ah sound with the double P, and the O sound with the single P. Hoping and hopped. Okay, so let's try this one. I simply hopped off the bus. Try that.
I simply hopped off the bus.
Good, just like that. Nice. Let's go to this word. You are actually correct the first time you said it. The word is vicinity.
Vicinity.
And you would change it to vicinity. It is vicinity. Okay?
Okay. Vicinity.
All right. Now, let's go to doing. Okay? Here, you're moving quickly through that oo. We want to actually stress that oo, saying doing instead of doing, and putting the stress on the ing. Okay, so let's put that stress on the oo sound. Doing.
Doing.
Good, good, just like that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, and pretty right here instead of pretty, using a e sound, short I. Pretty.
Pretty.
All right, very good. And one last word. This word is vague.
Vague.
Okay, one more time. Vague.
Vague.
Good, good, just like that. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
All right, let's go to Jose.
Yeah.
All right, Jose. Let's see. So, reading from since. Let me have you read the next 3 paragraphs. So, from since to the entire night, please.
All right. Since I was in a rush to make my way out of the bus previously, I had placed my iPod along with the headphones right over my seat. But now once I returned, they seemed nowhere to be found. I could have doubted some passenger traveling along to be the thief, but obviously not many people were awake at the time of the night. Even Sophia, who was sitting right next to me, was in such a deep sleep that she hadn't bothered to move even an inch from the position I had left her once I moved out of the bus. There wasn't much I could do about the loss except for a few desperate search efforts underneath my seat and on the floor, which I did manage to do, but ended up with not much hope on my side. Losing such a dear and prized possession never felt right, and with a person like me on the end of it, well, it even took away my sleep for the night. I stayed awake while every other person on board kept filling up their dreams with a sense of serene satisfaction. At sunrise, Sophia woke up a bit earlier than the rest of the people, and the first thing she did was ask for a whirling question that came right on to me. Hey dude, did you stay awake the entire night?
All right, very good. Let's check out some words. First up is whirling. So give me an sound instead of whirling. It is whirling.
Whirling.
Good. That's it. Nice job. All right, let's go to losing. Losing. Good. One more time. Losing. Excellent. Okay. Let's try efforts and underneath. Okay. Yeah. So instead of efforts, Okay,
Yeah.
this would be efforts and underneath. Try that, please.
Efforts underneath.
Good, good. Yeah, stress.
Efforts.
What's that?
Efforts underneath.
All right, nice job. Okay, and one last word. This word is doubted. Okay, the B is silent. Doubted, doubted.
Doubted. Doubted.
Good, good, good. Nice job, Jose.
Okay, thank you.
All right, excellent, you guys. Let's go ahead and go to Andrew. All right, Andrew, please continue and read the next four paragraphs here. So from yes, but how do you know, down to about the decision.
Okay. Yes, but how do you know that? I replied in affirmation. She laughed in reply and commented on my swollen eyes that told the complete dismal story. There wasn't much I could do after hearing that from her, so I simply laughed along and calmed myself down a bit. The next hour passed with simple, straight and meaningful questions from both ends. It was pretty much obvious that both of us were heading for the same direction with every little interaction. Even though my nature never wanted much but still demanded a few basic questions, which we eventually had to go through. After the brief session, I slammed my head back on my seat while Sophia delicately took hold of her phone and took out her headphones from her pocket. For an instant, my eyes stuck to them as if they belonged to me, but I later dragged myself over and shut my eyes, trying to find some sort of sleep of any kind. A minute later, Sophia again chucked me on the shoulder. By then I could make out that this was more like her habitual act. I turned around and this time she was offering me one of her headphones to eradicate my sadness. At first I didn't try to reject the offer and move on with my sleep and in turn have let her have the full fun, but some of her words struck deep enough to influence me in a change in my thoughts about decision.
Okay, very good. All right, let's check out that word her. Okay,
Yeah,
but some of her instead of her, but some of her words struck. Try that.
but some of her words struck.
Okay, one more time. Okay, go straight to that sound. Her. Okay, but some of her words struck.
But some of her words struck.
All right, almost. We're getting close there. There's still that a little bit of that E in front of when you pronounce the H. Okay. Okay, good. Yeah, there you go. Let's try that one more time. But some of her words struck.
But some of her words struck.
Okay, getting better. Nice, nice.
Okay.
Okay. Let's go to belonged. Okay, you had said belonged. Okay, belonged.
Belonged to me.
There you go. That's it. Okay, let's go to delicately. Okay, so the stress is at the very beginning. Delicately.
Delicately.
Good. Okay, let's go to little. Okay, let's change that double T to a D sound. Little. Little interaction.
Little interaction.
There you go. Nice job. Okay, and let's go to both. Okay, so
Both.
from both ends.
From both ends.
There you go. One more time. From both ends.
From both ends.
Good, good. Nice job. Keep focusing
Thank
on
you.
the word her, okay? Trying to remove
Okay.
that he at the very beginning, okay?
Sure.
Okay. Good. Let's go to my next reader. Let's see. Goliath. All right. So, Goliath, let me have you read the next 3 paragraphs. So from well for me until back home, please.
Okay. Well, for me, sharing is caring, and you for notice. Yeah, I do intentionally try to care for people around me, let alone that you are alongside me from the past 10 hours or so, and in such a long time. I have indeed found you as a really interesting personality, and watching you, I think that at least there is somebody in this bus with whom this crazy nature of mine can coexist and interact with. Sharing a headphone Sharing a headphone is the least I can do for you, and in this case, yeah, don't ask me for the most. Roars of laughter, as I smiled in reply, taking one side of the headphone and placing it over my ear nervously. They say music is a universal language in knowing about someone's thoughts, idea, and desires, so keeping this in mind, the least I could make up was that Sophia was believer for sure. Before every Justin Bieber song, she used to push my shoulders and tell me, "That's a good one. Pay your full attention towards it." At this time, we were already lodged onto the final leg of our journey, with just 3 distant hours separating us and the destination simply known as homeland. So with the constant stream of minutes running down my mind, I postponed my will of sleep yet again for some time, possibly this time till I reach all the way back home.
Okay, very good. Let's check out some words. First up is postponed. Stress at the end of the word, postponed.
Postponed.
There you go. Very good. Let's go to the word this using the short I. Okay,
This
at this time.
at this time.
Very good. Okay, let's go to the word thoughts. Where did thoughts go?
It's near.
Oh, okay, right here. So, yes, thoughts. Instead of thoughts, thoughts.
Thoughts.
Excellent. Now, I want to talk about this word, you guys. Belieber. Okay, what this is it is a play on words. Okay, what we have is the pop star Justin Bieber. Okay, and what they did was that they took the word believe.
To believer.
Okay, believer, and they just like his last name Bieber with a B-E-R, they switched that V, which sounds a little bit like a B, to a B. Okay, believer. So if you are a believer, that means that you are a fan of Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that's why it says Sophia was a believer for sure. Okay, so it's sort of a joke there. Okay.
I'm a hate Bieber.
So you hate Bieber. You are not a believer then.
No, I'm not.
Okay. All right. Okay, so I just wanted to explain that one there. Sometimes on these short stories we have some grammatical errors and some spelling errors because these are amateur stories. But for the most part, they're pretty good. I just wanted to mention that this was not an error. It's an actual, that's how they wanted to spell that. Okay. First, our next word is know, knowing. Okay. Try not to add as much ooh at the end. Okay. You're saying knowing. Okay. It is know, knowing. Try that.
Knowing.
There you go. There you go. Nice. And one last word, roars. Okay. It sounded like you said rose. Okay, roars. Try and get that R at the end. Roar, roars.
Roars.
There, that's it. One more time. Roars.
I feel like a lion. Roars.
That's right. That's right. Very good. All right, good. Okay, let's go to Igor.
Yeah.
All right, so we ended with back home. Let me have you continue and read the next 3 paragraphs. So I easily down to the girl's shoulder.
I easily caught up with Sophia's hand swinging here and there when history repeated. itself, and I had my shoulder in contact with her face once again. This time I was glad to find out in time that Sophia had slept on my shoulder, and I don't have to act ruthlessly like the way I did the previous time. Actually, this time it all seemed different. I still say that I'm not that kind of a person, but even I couldn't resist moving Sophia's hair away from entering her ears as she placed her head carefully in my lap without breaking up her sleep. Time kind of stopped, and that feeling I still remember was something unlike any other thing I have ever experienced. This wasn't the kind of stuff I was familiar with, so for someone like me, it was both unusual yet highly comforting at the very same time. Furthermore, I could notice some rays of sunlight falling straight into Sophia's eyes, due to which she was constantly trying to scrape something off her face. So there again I had to make her get rid of the discomfort and displeasure by moving the curtain in the way of light entering the bus from the window. With that done, I was myself indulged into the pleasure of sleep, as was seen inclined towards my right and placing my hands over Sophia's shoulders. My need for sleep finally gave way, and I too, like many other people, finally slept right over the girl's shoulder.
Okay, very good. Let's take a look at indulged.
Indulged.
Good. One more time. Indulged.
Indulged.
Good. Let's go to the word scrape. Okay, give me a skr sound. Skr, scrape.
Scrape.
That's
Scrape.
it. There you go. Nice job. Okay. This word here, the S at the end of the word is an unvoiced S, saying raise instead of race. Raise.
Okay.
Try that.
Raise.
Good, good. Let's go to the word could here. So instead of could, it is could.
Could.
Excellent. Now, you were right the first time that you said this word. Okay, and then you switched it to comforting. We say comfort, comforting.
Comforting.
One more time, comforting.
Comforting.
Let's go to still. Still right here. A short I. Still instead of steal. Still.
Still.
Good, good. Nice job. And one last word. This word is ruthlessly. Ruthlessly.
Ruthlessly.
Yeah, this is a terrible word. Absolutely terrible word. I don't like this word because you've got the TH, then the S, and just to top it off, an LY and an L right in the middle of everything. It just kind of jacks everything up. So, one more time. Ruthlessly, ruthlessly.
Ruthlessly. Ruthlessly.
There you go. Yeah, if you don't spit when you say this word, you're saying it wrong.
Okay.
just a joke there, but yeah, it's a hard word to say. Okay, nice job.
For you, it's
Very
not
good.
hard. For us, it's hard. For you, it's hard.
Yeah, ruthlessly. Yeah, it's still a tricky one. Very good. Okay, let's go to Jose.
Yeah.
All right, Jose, please read the next 3 paragraphs. So the next thing down to my lost iPod.
The next thing I remember in clear sense were the happenings after the sudden jerk of the stopping bus, which made both me and Sophia wake up in quite a distress. We looked here and there, and clearly the activity showed signs of our journey ending. You might think that reaching the desired destination it would have been pretty easy for me to explain my feelings at that time. But fearing that my company with Sophia was not long lasting anymore, this realization was quite a dreadful one itself. These were the reasons that for me someone as open.
Hello, Jose, are you still there? I think I lost you right here around opposed. Jose? Yep. I still can't hear you. Yeah, I can
Check your
see.
microphone, Jose.
Yeah, I can see, Jose, that you're trying to talk, but it's not coming through. Yeah, check your connection with your microphone. Nope, still nothing. It's coming in really fuzzy.
Disconnect and connect
Okay.
your microphone and check again.
Yeah, try that, and I'll come back to you if it starts working better. Okay. Let's go to Andrew. Andrew, start here at this paragraph where he had started. So here, these were. Okay, these were the reasons, and I'll have you read down to lecture of mine. Okay.
Okay. These these were the reasons that forced someone as opposed as I was to this thing to grab Sophia's hand while she was leaving the bus and request for her phone number. Whenever I still turn back and look at my life, I never thought previously that someone like me would have ever performed such an act. It just wasn't possible. Anyway, in reply, there were three things that marked our friendship hadn't dried out that soon. Firstly, as as always listening to what I had to say, Sophia gave me her usual cunning smile, and with that she brought her hand out from the pocket, and her closed fist oh, and her closed fist opening in front of me possessed my lost iPad. Before I could utter before I could utter a word, she was herself apologizing hard, and in a laughing cry she said, "I was waiting for when you would ask for a number. Sorry. I was waiting for when you would ask for my number so that I could give you back this possession of yours. I strongly believe in the quotation of 'better late than never,' so here you go. Sharing is caring. Hope you remember that lecture of mine."
All right, very good. Yeah, what a twist there. I didn't think that she stole it. What a jerk. All right, let's see here. Let's go to closed. All right, so closed. Use a voiced S sound here instead of closed. Closed. Try that.
Closed.
All right. Yeah. So let's go from the pocket and her closed fist opening. Okay, focusing on closed and her. Okay, go for it.
From the pocket and her closed fist opening.
Okay. Let's see. How can we do this? You're saying.
You know, Chad.
Yes.
No, Chad. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I can't understand the position of tongue when I pronounce the sound er. Her.
Okay.
Or her. I can't understand.
Her here. So what you're doing, okay, in order to pronounce the E sound, because you're saying here, okay, that's how you're
Here.
pronouncing the word here, okay, like you were to say, look over here, this is my new car, here, okay, but the E is a little less pronounced, you're saying here, right? So in order to pronounce that, your tongue is raised in the back, okay, to pronounce the E sound. When you pronounce E, it's sort of pressed in the back of your mouth, okay? To pronounce her, you need to drop your tongue, okay? Drop your tongue, and it's curved a little bit, okay? Her,
Sure.
okay? That's it, okay? So instead of
Okay.
up high and saying here, okay,
Mhm.
because what you're doing is you're focusing on pronouncing that H so much that an E sound is coming out. You're saying here, all right, and that's why that's happening. If you just push it down, and instead of focusing on that H and getting that H sound, all you do is breathe it, okay?
Mhm.
Her, and it comes out just fine. Her, okay?
Sure.
That's right, just like that. Okay, so tongue down, and it's just a breath coming out. Her. Okay.
Sure.
All right, good. So let's
Thank you
try
for
that
this
in the sentence. Okay. So let's go to from the pocket and her closed fist opening.
From the pocket and her closed fist opening.
Good, good. Much better. It'll take a little bit of work because you're so used to saying here. Okay, so yeah, just keep focusing on that, pushing your tongue down and just using a breath. Okay. The other word I wanted to look at was cuddling. Okay, so cuddling or cuddling. Okay, either way is fine. So cuddling or cuddling smile.
Cuddling. Cuddling smile.
There you go. Good, good. Nice job.
Thank you.
All right, excellent. Okay, you guys, I am out of time. I need to run to my next class. And my next class, I believe, is Everyday Dialogue. Yeah, so we're working on meeting the teacher. So yes, if you have kids, one day, one point in time, you'll have to meet the teacher, and so we'll be practicing those words and phrases in English. Okay. All right. Thanks, guys. We'll see you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.